Machine embroidery can be super slow. This is true if you have 1 needle or 20 needles. However, if you have a multi-needle machine, you can actually apply optimizations to your embroidery design or even your machine. Sadly, there isn't a whole heck of a lot you can do if you have a single needle machine, so enjoy the pain that you've given yourself by sticking to a single needle. In this video, I'm going to cover optimizations that you can do to your multi-needle embroidery machine to speed things up. This will involve changes that you can make to your machine or in the digitizing process. So let's dive right in. First, let's go over all of the things that cause the slowdown so that we have a better understanding of why the fixes work. First off, multiple needles means multiple colors. Fun, right? Every time you have to do a color change, the machine's head needs to move to the next thread color. So it's going to cut the thread, then move the machine head, and start stitching again. That whole movement takes a lot of time. If your design is dispersed, meaning it has a lot of different parts that are too far away from each other for a stitch to actually connect them, then that's going to increase your time as well. The hoop has to move itself into position for that following stitch. Then if that's actually a color change as well, you're moving the hoop and then you're changing colors, which moves the head. None of this stuff is really noticeable if you're doing like a one-off stitch out. But when you're doing 200 hats, you're watching yourself age in real time. Fun and oddly specific. So let's go over how we can deal with these speed bumps. The simplest fix is to line up your thread colors in the exact same order that they appear in your design. You want to put the appropriate thread colors on needles that are consecutive. That's going to reduce the amount of distance that the machine head needs to shift when it changes colors. If you put your thread colors all over the place in varying locations, then you're spending a ton of time with that machine head going back and forth just to move the needle. Now, I personally cannot stand moving my threads around to various needles, but if I'm doing, I don't know, 200 hats, I may actually want to use this little bit of an optimization to make my life easier and longer. Now, this next optimization is actually a machine setting. Most embroidery machines are going to have the option to toggle the cutting feature on and off. By default, it should be set to on, meaning that your thread is going to get cut before it moves to a new location or changes colors. However, if you turn that feature off, the machine doesn't need to tie off and cut and then move the machine head. It can actually just move the machine head and drag the thread with it. There's a couple of downsides to this option though. First, a lot of cleanup. You're going to have a ton of jump stitches that are basically going back and forth and all over your design. You have to spend extra time with a seam remover or some tweezers to remove all of those jump stitches before you give the object over to the customer. The next downside is if you don't have the correct tension, say it's too low, for example, then that leaves a very loose looking thread that's going across your work and it could accidentally get picked up by the machine foot and that'll drag your design and you'll lose registration. So if your design doesn't have a lot of jumping and color changes, this could be one of those options to help you get things a little faster. I personally don't toggle off the cutting because I'm lazy. Ultimately, the best fix for any of the embroidery speed problems you may be encountering is through digitizing. This, of course, is not something that you can do within the machine's controls. For this fix, you need to be able to visualize the path of the stitching. You need to think one step ahead of where that needle is located. Stitch pathing is like a relay race where stitching between sparse designs or color changes are handing off the proverbial baton. To be successful, you'll want the stitching to be as close as possible without sacrificing the overall look of your design. There are 3 key features that you need to know about your embroidery software to accomplish this: start position, stop position, and running stitch. Let's take a look at a simple example of how setting the start and stop positions can optimize the stitch out. I'll be using Hatch Embroidery 3 for this demonstration. If you're not familiar with Hatch, I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out. Here we have 2 squares in the same color thread. If we select one of the squares and go into reshape mode, we can see the start and the stop positions. The green diamond is the start position, while the red X is the stop position. Now select the other square while in reshape mode, and you can see that its start position isn't anywhere near the previous square's stop position. With the way things are set up right now, a jump would be required to get from the left square over to the starting position for the right square. Remember, a jump involves moving the hoop and the machine head if it's a color change. That doesn't seem optimal, right? Let's make some adjustments. First, let's address the left square. We'll move the stop position to the lower right corner by left-clicking on the stop marker and dragging it down. Now left-click the start marker and move its position to the upper left corner. This positions the stop point to be right next to the other square. While remaining in reshape mode, click on the right square from your sequence panel and move its start marker down to that lower left corner. This places the start position within a short enough distance from the left's stop position that a jump won't be necessary. If we use the player feature in Hatch, we can actually preview the stitching process and validate our changes. See how nice and smooth that transition is now? So what happens if the squares are further apart? Well, unless you want to stitch over to the area and have that stitch remain in your finished product, you're gonna have to suffer the jump. But at least now the jump has been reduced, making the design more optimized in general. Now let's take a look at a more complex example. Here we have some blueberries. The two in the back have a darker blue so that the lighter blue one in the front stands out. If we hide the middle blueberry, we can see there's a lot of space between the right and the left. We need to make that transition shorter by making a running stitch that will allow the stitching to travel over from one blueberry to the next without the machine wasting time cutting the thread and moving the hoop. To make the running stitch, go to the Digitize tool panel on the left-hand side of your screen. Click on the Digitize Open Shape tool. This will default to outline mode and select the single run stitch type, which is what we want. I tend to leave everything at default values, but I do prefer toggling off the variable run length option as these stitches won't be seen in the finished product. I'm going to place a single run line of stitching from the right blueberry's stop to the left blueberry's start, taking care to keep the running stitch in the area that will be hidden by the middle blueberry and the fill area of the left blueberry. You might be wondering, why am I using running stitches? That's because it's actually faster to have the machine continue stitching to the next location as opposed to tying off, cutting, and moving the machine head or the hoop. One last thing you need to do is verify your stitch sequence. Hatch defaults to placing the new stitch at the bottom of the sequence. Make sure to move it up so that it's after the right blueberry, not at the end. If left at the end, it'll stitch on top of everything and be visible in the finished product. And that, dear viewers, is a wrap on my suggestions for optimizing your embroidery. Hopefully now you have the knowledge that you need to go forth and conquer, or just make your embroideries stitch out faster. If you have any optimization suggestions, you can put them in the comments section below and we'll start a conversation. Feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos or tips or funny shenanigans just like this.